Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim. We begin in the name of Almighty Allah, the most magnificent, the ever merciful. We glorify Him, we praise Him, and of course we elevate His name as He ought to be elevated. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. I extend to you the eternal and the universal salutation of peace. May the peace, blessings, and mercies of Almighty Allah be upon you. A most pleasant good morning going out to you on this beautiful, beautiful Friday morning. Of course, we have now come to the end of the week. We're heading full speed into the weekend. How has your week been thus far? Of course, I do pray that you are healthy and well, in the best of spirits. Of course, you can reach out to me via the WhatsApp number 2994103. I'm your host and brother in humanity, Imam Safar Asghani, here in your company once again on this auspicious and very, very holy day of Friday, the day of Jum'ah here in Trinidad and Tobago. Jum'ah Mubarak going out to you and yours. I also want to take the opportunity as well to say a very special thank you going out to Pandit Shiva Hari Prasad for this beautiful and wonderful words of inspiration and motivation. And of course, as we always do, we wish him a safe and a speedy trip back home. All praises are due to Almighty Allah, the Lord of the worlds, the magnificent, the merciful, Master of the Day of Judgment. O Allah, it is you do we worship, and from you only do we ask for help. Guide us to the straight path, the path of those upon whom you have bestowed your favor, not the path of those who have evoked your anger, nor the path of those who have gone astray. Ameen Ya Rabbal Alameen. Today's Islamic date is the 20th day in the month of Rabi'ul Awwal, which of course is the third month on the Islamic calendar. The days are rolling by very quickly. Just the other day we were talking about the beginning of this particular month. Already we have completed almost 3 weeks of the month of Rabi'ul Awwal. And of course, we are currently in the year 1445. Today also coincides with the very first Friday in the month of October 2023. Another month has come to an end. Another new month rolls over. The question is, what are you doing with the time given to you by the Almighty? As we are now getting ready to commence the holy day of Jum'ah here in Trinidad and Tobago, allow me now to take the opportunity to welcome you live on air on the internet and of course live on Facebook as well for this weekly program titled Soul Inspirations. And of course, you can catch a live stream of today's program on the Facebook page and also on my personal YouTube channel as well at Imam Safar Asghani. This is your program for inspiration, information, education, and entertainment. By all means, do keep it locked on to 103.1 FM. This is Soul Inspirations, and I'm yours truly, Imam Safar Asghani.
الصبح بدا من طلعته والليل دجى من وصرته है नूर साहर चेहरे से तेरे और शब की रौनक जुल्फों से अल्लाह 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 Allahu, 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 Allah. Kanzul Karami Mawla Ni'ami Adil Umami Shari'atihi नेमत का खज़ीना हे मौला गंजे नाहर रहमत है आका आदि है तमामी उम्मत के नुमा है शरीयत के अल्लाहु 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 अल्लाह अल्लाहु 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 अल्लाह سأت الشجر تلقى الحجر شق القمر بإشارته उंगली के इशारे पेड़ चले एजाज से पत्थर बोल उठे और चांद हुआ है तो तू करे अंगुष्ठ के इशारे से अल्लाहु 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 अल्लाह अल्लाहु 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 अल्लाह जिब्रील अता लैलत अस्रा والرب دعا في حضرته जिब्रील आमी पैगाम खुदा लेकर आए थे शबे असरा अल्लाहु 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 अल्लाह فوسيلتنا هو سيدنا والعز لنا بجاهته الله 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 لا إله إلا الله
You are tuned into Soul Inspirations on 103.1 FM with yours truly, Imam Safraz Ghani. And as always, I must say it's an absolute honor and, of course, a personal pleasure to be in your company once again for around about the next hour or so. I want to take the opportunity as well to say a very special thank you going out to the sponsors. The program this morning is being brought to you through the kind courtesies of Adams Project Management and Construction Limited, located at number 66 Omera Industrial Estate out there in Arena. Contact number 645-8326, 6639-144. Island Chicken Meats and Poultry Processors located at number 47 Currently Savannah Road out there in Charleville. Phone numbers 471-3850, 3825-418. And F&A Hardware and Shopping Center located at number 280 Russia Douglas Road out there in Barrowpore. Contact number 277-8000. Of course, just as a reminder, of course, you can message me via the WhatsApp number 2994103. Alternatively, you can send me a message via the Facebook feed live as well. And the program this morning, we've got a very, very absorbing segment as always lined up for you. We start off with our short inspirational segment, followed by the early morning call to prayer. And of course, as we work our way through the course of the program, we'll be sharing with you a few beautiful Islamic selections. And later on, coming up towards the end of the program, as we get into the lecture segments, this morning I'll be talking about the detriments of arrogance. And that is something that we really, really need to understand try our very best to eradicate from our lives. So that and much more is coming up on this hour. By all means, lots to look forward to as we work our way through the course of this hour. Keep it locked on to 103.1 FM. This is Soul Inspirations, and I'm yours truly, Imam Safras Gang.
What Islam is, it's a way of life for all. It is taught in the Quran for big and small. A way of life, a way of life, a way of life, a way of life. Islam is a way of life, a complete way. Do you know what Islam says? It says that life's the greatest test. It says that life's a borrowed space, returned upon rest. A way of life, a way of life, a way of life, a way of life. Islam is a way of life, a complete way. Islam solves all of its problems, Allah leaves no stone unturned. Perfect with no flaws at all are the laws of Allah. A way of life, a way of life, a way of life, a way of life. Islam is a way of life, a complete way. It's a complete way.
Allah's blessings and mercies on this beautiful Friday morning. As we look forward to another day in our lives, we have now come to the end of another week. First of all, we thank Almighty Allah for granting us life, health, and strength. This morning, I want to share with you the advice of the great Imam Ibn al-Qayyim. And he said that a friend will not literally share your struggles. A loved one cannot physically take away your pain. And a close one will not stay up the night on your behalf. So with that being said, it is very important that you look after yourself. It is very important that you protect yourself, nurture yourself, and do not give life's events more than what they really are worth. Know for certain that when you break, no one will heal you except you. When you are defeated, no one will give you victory except you and your determination. Your ability to stand up again and carry on is no one else's responsibility but yours. So do not look for your self-worth in the eyes of other people. Look for your worth from within your conscience, and look for your worth in front of the Almighty. If your conscience is at peace, then you will ascend to great heights. And if you truly know yourself, if you truly understand your connection with the Almighty and what is said about you, that will not harm you in the slightest. So do not carry the worries of this world, because this is for Allah. Do not carry the worries of sustenance, because that comes from Allah. And do not carry the anxiety of the future, because no one knows that but Allah. Carry one thing though, carry the concern and the worry about pleasing none other than the Almighty. Because if you please Him, He pleases you. And if you please Him, He fulfills you and He enriches your life in ways even you cannot imagine. So I want to say to you this morning, may Allah bless you this day. May He guide your footsteps. May He bless you with happiness, prosperity, strength, well-being, and the courage to face the challenges that will come your way this day. I also want to take the opportunity as well to say a very special thank you going out to the sponsors. The program this morning is being brought to you through the kind courtesies of F&A Hardware and Shopping Center, located at number 280 Russia Douglas Road, Old Devon Barrowpole. Contact number 2778000. Island Chicken Meats and Poultry Processors, located at number 47 Currently Savannah Road, Old Devon Charleville. Contact numbers 471-3850, 3825-418, and the Original Barbecue Hut Limited, located at number 85 to 89 Sipera Road, Victoria Village, out there in San Fernando. And of course, you can contact them on 657-9429. Our inspirational segment is coming up very, very shortly. By all means, do keep it locked on to 103.1 FM. This is Soul Inspirations, and I'm yours truly, Imam Safas Guy. So in the early months of the year 2020, the bustling world came to a sudden halt as mobility restrictions were imposed across the globe to curb the spread of the disease caused by the COVID-19 virus. Schools, learning centers, and offices were all closed, and businesses were put on hold. Suddenly, you were able to hear in the natural environment that ever elusive silence. Suddenly, all you were able to hear in the natural environment was nothing more than silence. The Prophet Muhammad, peace be upon him, mentioned, he who believes in Allah and he who believes in the last day must either speak good or remain silent. Silence is an act that has been prescribed in order to maintain peace and good relations between one another. Silence is a very important tool that is used for learning, contemplation, reflection, and meditation. Few people would argue with the statement that our modern society offers little opportunity for silence. Smartphones and mobile devices keep messages, emails, streaming music and video platforms and social media feeds that is available to us essentially at all times. And sometimes you can't even pump gas, or you can't even take a ride in a taxi without clips of news, entertainment, and advertising coming before your very ears and eyes. There are two realities we need to accept. Firstly, silence is an integral part of the development of our interior lives. We cannot develop internally without silence. And secondly, in the modern world, silence is something we have to actively pursue. It rarely comes to us easily anymore. On that note, allow me to share with you this anecdote. So there was this one farmer who happened to lose his precious watch while working in his barn. After searching high and low among the hay for a long time, the old farmer became exhausted. However, the farmer did not want to give up the search for his watch, so he requested a group of kids who were playing nearby to help him to find this valuable watch. Of course, he promised an attractive reward for the person who could find his beloved watch. After hearing the reward, the children hurried inside the barn, and they went around the entire stack of hay searching for the watch. After a long time of looking for the watch, some of the children got tired and gave up. The number of children looking for the watch slowly decreased, and only a few tired children were left. The farmer then gave up hope of ever finding his watch, and he called off the search. As the farmer was closing the door to the barn, to go home, a little boy came up to him and requested the farmer to give him another chance. So the farmer did not want to miss any chance of finding the watch, so he allowed the boy into the barn. After a short while, the boy came running out of the barn with the watch in his hand. The farmer was happily surprised and he asked the boy, how did he manage to succeed in finding the watch while everyone, including him, had failed? The boy replied that I just sat there and tried to listen to the ticking of the watch. In silence, with everyone else gone, it was much easier to listen to it and to direct my search towards the sound. The farmer, of course, was overjoyed to get his beloved watch back, and he rewarded the little boy as promised. In short, the quieter you become, the more you can hear. Being silent allows us to challenge to channel our energies. It gives us the clarity that we need to calmly face challenges and the uncertainty that comes our way in our day-to-day lives. Remember that a peaceful mind can think better than a mind that is worked up and pressured. So once in a while, allow a few minutes of silence to engulf your mind. And sometimes all you need to do is to relax and listen, and the perspective that you have been searching for comes to you. Our lives are very busy, and many of us don't embrace silence that often. It is important for us to understand how silence can help. So this morning, let me share with you a few benefits that silence can bring to you. Number one, silence promotes self-awareness. Silence can help increase your self-awareness by giving you the chance to observe and accept your thoughts and your feelings without judgment. Number two, silence stimulates brain cells. Quieting the mind can boost brain growth. Silence can also relieve stress. We all feel stress from time to time, but silence may help decrease stress levels by lowering blood pressure and adrenaline levels. Silence can also help with information processing. The brain itself needs time to think, reflect, and rest. It needs time to file away the stuff that it has already learned and make room for new improvements and new information. Silence can boost creativity. Silence can aid with concentration. According to psychologists, silence can boost concentration drastically. One of the reasons why silence has become such an important part of everyday life is the ability to focus when the modern world and its many noises bombard your brain all at once. So just to recap, finding moments of silence can have significant psychological and mental health advantages, and above all, it can give you a greater sense of peace. With all the constant noise you are surrounded with on a day-to-day basis, embracing silence can help stimulate your brain and help you process information. It can also help you become more self-aware and relieve stress. It can also help you to become more creative and improve your general concentration and focusing powers. With a bit of practice, you can definitely reap the benefits of silence and improve your mental health and well-being. Like the saying goes, silence is an art. It is a tool of the wise. When we perfect the art of silence, chances are that you will get a lot more done. And one person rightly said that silence and a smile are two very powerful tools. A smile is a way to solve many problems, but silence is the way to avoid many problems. And like they say, speech is silver, but silence is gold. At this point in the program, we now go to the early morning call to prayer. The early morning call to prayer is being brought to you this morning through the kind courtesies of Absolute Investments Limited of Monroe Road in Canoopia.
أشهد أن لا إله إلا الله أشهد أن لا إله إلا الله أشهد أن محمد رسول الله أشهد أن محمد رسول الله حي على حي على الصلاة حي على حي على
A very special thank you going out to the sponsors. The program this morning is being brought to you through the kind courtesies of Absolute Investments Limited of Monroe Road in Canoopia, Trinilink Solutions Limited located at Waterloo Road out there in Aruka, and of course you can contact them on 788-4186. The Price Club Supermarket located at Ramsaran Street out there in Chagonas, contact number 671-7777, and the Point Fortin Hardware Limited Wholesale Division located at Frederick Settlement out there in Caroni, contact number 662-1233-678-0857. A very special salam and greetings going out to you and yours. Thank you so much for all of the messages I have been receiving this morning. I am both overwhelmed and humbled by all the messages that I have been receiving this morning. Thank you so much for your company on the Soul Inspirations this morning. Coming up in a very short while, we've got our lecture segment. So by all means, do keep it locked on to 103.1 FM. This is Soul Inspirations, and I'm yours truly, Imam Safras Ghani.
يا من صليت بكل الأنبياء يا من في قلبك رحمة للناس يا من ألفت قلوبا بالإسلام يا حبيبي يا شافعي يا رسول الله بأمي وأبي فديتك سيدي صلاة وسلام عليك يا نبي حبيبي يا محمد محمد أتيت بالسلام والهدى محمد حبيبي يا محمد يا رحمة للعالمين يا محمد يا من حليت حياتنا بالإيمان يا من بجمالك علمت الإحسان يا من نورت قلوبنا بالقرآن يا حبيبي يا شافعي يا رسول الله بأمي وأبي فديتك سيدي صلاة وسلام عليك يا نبي حبيبي يا محمد أتيت بالسلام والهدى محمد حبيبي يا محمد يا رحمة للعالمين يا محمد صلى الله على خاتم الأنبياء محمد رحمة للعالمين رحمة للعالمين محمد رحمة للعالمين رحمة للعالمين محمد رحمة للعالمين رحمة للعالمين حبيبي يا محمد أتيت بالسلام والهدى محمد حبيبي يا محمد يا رحمة للعالمين يا محمد حبيبي يا محمد أتيت بالسلام والهدى محمد حبيبي يا محمد يا رحمة للعالمين يا محمد
حياتنا يا ربي خاصة إليك قضينا شغلها قبل أدري يا الله كن خيرك في خطاك حخازك ترى الشوق اشبه تشقيق وطار حياتنا يا ربي فاتني قد وينا شهرها فوق الأرض آمنت بالله وملائكته وكتبه ورسوله واليوم الآخر والقدر خيره وشره من الله والبأس بعد الموت لا إله إلا الله لا إله إلا الله لا إله إلا الله لا إله إلا الله محمد رسول الله.
The blazing fire burned like the sun, and all he claimed was God is one, and there was no one by his side. His heart was strong, his faith was right. The friend of Allah, Ibrahim knew God's promise will stand true. He said, Hasbunallah ونعم الوكيل. Allah is enough for me. As I stand here alone, I have nothing to fear, for I trust in Allah, He is all that I need. Fearlessly he faced the Pharaoh, pleading, let my people go. For you and I love the one who commands the moon, commands the sun. The prophet Musa stood firm and free. His faith took them towards the sea. He said, Hasbunallah ونعم الوكيل. Allah is enough for me. My Lord, open the way, our lives in your hands. Show us your mercy, you are all that we have. She lay alone, her baby born. How would she face the people's scorn? For she was chaste, not touched before by any man, her life so pure. The greatest woman that ever lived, Maryam held a miracle. She said, Hasbunallah ونعم الوكيل. Allah is enough for me. As we lay here alone, this gift given to me, a great messenger, oh my son you will be. He faced an army filled with hate. His only message was God is great. But all they did was drive him out. 1,000 strong at the end his life. Muhammad stood so few by his side. He turned and eased the fear in their eyes. He said, Hasbunallah ونعم الوكيل. Allah is enough for me. Do not forsake us, O Lord. Make our hearts firm today. If these few of us fail, who will call out your name? And Allah heard his call, send the angels to him. when he said Hasbunallah wa ni'mal wakeel. With all that I go through in this life, there's nothing that can shake my faith. Cause Allah is all that anyone needs. Just say Hasbunallah wa ni'mal wakeel. Allah is enough for me.
Welcome back. I'm yours truly, Imam Safar Ghani, host of this weekly program titled Soul Inspirations, your program for inspiration, information, education, and entertainment on this beautiful Friday morning, the day of Jum'ah. Jummah Mubarak going out to you and yours. May the blessings and mercies of Almighty Allah be upon you this day. And may we continue to strive for betterment in every aspect of our lives. At this point in the program, we now get into the lecture segment. And like I mentioned before, this morning, we'll be talking about the detriments of being an arrogant person. So arrogance, as we know it, is the quality of being unpleasantly proud and behaving as if you are more important than others, and behaving as though you know more than others, thinking that you are better than other people because of some talent of yours, is of course called arrogance. An arrogant person is always bragging about their achievements, their skills, and their abilities, and they oftentimes tend to ignore the people around them. In other words, it is almost as though the world revolves around them alone. And in the company of such people, we tend to find ways to escape, whether we do it consciously or unconsciously. And such people, they tend to make others feel uncomfortable and less important. Arrogance is a trait that can have detrimental effects on individuals, on relationships, and on society as a whole. Why? Because it blinds you to your own limitations. It prevents you from learning and growing. It prevents you from becoming a better person. Why? Because you think that I am the best thing after sliced bread, so to say. And it prevents you from becoming a positive person. Can lead you to a whole host of negative consequences. First and foremost, arrogance hinders personal growth and development. Arrogance also damages relationships. And if you think about it, who enjoys being around someone who constantly belittles others? Someone who constantly dismisses others' opinions or dominates conversations? The simple answer is absolutely no one. We don't like to sit in the company of such people. Furthermore, arrogance can lead to poor decision making and costly mistakes. When you overestimate your abilities and you downplay the risks associated with your actions, you of course become prone to errors and failures. On that note, let me share with you this particular story. There was once a young man who went overseas to study for quite a long time. Eventually, he became qualified as a scholar, but because of the vast amount of knowledge he acquired, he developed the quality of arrogance, and he developed the quality of swell-headedness. His head became swollen, so to say. When he returned, he asked his parents to find him a religious scholar or any expert who could answer his 3 questions. So after searching far and wide, eventually his parents were able to find a wise old scholar. So the young man said to him, "Who are you, and can you answer my questions?" So the scholar mentioned that I am one of God's humble servants, and of course I will try my very best to answer the questions that are plaguing your mind. So the young man said, "Well, I have posed these questions to a lot of professors, a lot of experts, and none were able to answer my questions." So the wise old scholar said, "I will try my very best with the help of the Almighty." So the young man said, "Listen, I've got 3 questions. Number 1, does Allah exist? And if so, show me evidence of his existence." That's question number 1. Question number 2, what is fate? And question number 3, if the devil was created from fire, why at the end of it all would he be thrown into hell, which is also created from fire? It certainly would not hurt him at all, since the devil and hell both were created from fire. Did not the Almighty think about this? These are my 3 questions. So the elderly scholar, he remained quiet for a while, pondering, and then all of a sudden, he slapped the young man across his face very hard with all his might. The young man, of course, shouted out in pain, and he asked, "Why did you get angry with me? Why did you slap me? Is it that you could not answer the questions?" So the scholar remained calm, and he replied that, "I am not angry. This slap is the answer to your 3 questions." So the young arrogant man said, "Well, I don't understand. Please explain to me." So the scholar said to him, "When I slapped you, what did you feel?" The young man said, "Well, of course I felt pain." So the scholar then asked him, "Do you believe that pain exists?" The young man said, "Yes, of course." So the scholar said, "Show me the existence of pain." The young man said, "Well, I cannot." So the scholar then said that this is the answer to my first question. All of us, every single one of us, feel the existence of the Almighty without being able to see him. And that there is proof that he is in existence. Secondly, last night when you went to bed, did you dream or did you know that you were going to be slapped by me? The young man said, "No." "Did you ever think that you would get a slap from me today?" The young man said, "No." He said, "Well, this is the answer and the definition of your second question. This is a definition of faith. Faith means, quite simply, that no one knows what tomorrow will bring. And thirdly, my hand that I used to slap you, what is it created from?" The young man said, "Well, it is created from flesh." He said, "Well, how about your face?" He said, "Well, my face is also created from flesh." He said, "Did you feel the pain after I slapped you?" He said, "Yes, I did feel excruciating pain." So the scholar said, "Well, that right there is my third answer. Even though the devil and also the fire of hell are both created from fire, if Allah wills, the hell will become a very, very painful place for the devil." Always remember that an arrogant person considers himself perfect. This is the chief harm of arrogance. It interferes with a person's main task in life, which is to become a better person. The arrogant one becomes so caught up by basking in his own glory that he pays no attention to becoming a better person, and in most cases, he turns out to be a nuisance for others. In today's era, everyone thinks he is better than the other person. No one is willing to concede. Everyone wants to put on the cloak of arrogance. I say to you this morning, discard the cloak of arrogance and you will be loved by all. Don't let arrogance get to your head and despair to your heart. Do not let compliments go to your head, and do not allow criticism to go to your heart. Do not let success go to your head, and do not allow failure to affect your heart. In this life, if you can declare war on those things that you cannot see, only then will you qualify to face those things that you can see. If you can declare war on 13 hidden enemies, if you can declare war on egoism, on arrogance, conceit, selfishness, greed, lust, intolerance, anger, lying, cheating, gossiping, and slander, if you can wage war against these 13 hidden enemies, and if you can master and destroy them, then you will be ready to face the enemy that you can see. Whenever you start indulging in something bad, you already know that the result is going to harm you yourself. It is very important that whenever you find an evil trait coming within you, that you nip it in the bud, so to say. At the end of the day, we come from dirt and we go back to dirt, and no one is greater than another person. So in this life, don't wait for bad habits to grow inside you. Drop them while you have control over them, or else they will start controlling your life. Always remember that there is no such thing as perfection, But in striving for perfection, we can achieve a level of excellence.
حسبي ربي جل الله ما في قلبي غير الله نور محمد صلى الله لا إله إلا الله حسبي ربي جل الله ما في قلبي غير الله نور محمد صلى الله لا إله إلا الله वो बिलाल हबशी है सरवरदी का प्यारा है वो बिलाल हबशी है सरवरदी का प्यारा है दुनिया के हर आशिक की आंखों का वो तारा है वो बिलाल हबशी है सरवरदी का प्यारा है दुनिया के हर आशिक की आंखों का तारा है जुल्म हुए कितने उस पर सीने पर रखा पातर लब पर फिर भी जारी था ला इलाहा इल्लल्लाह हस्बी रब्बी जल्ला मा फी क़ल्बी ग़ैरुल्लाह नूर मुहम्मद सल्लल्लाहु ला इलाहा इल्लल्लाह हस्बी रब्बी जल्ला मा फी क़ल्बी ग़ैरुल्लाह नूर मुहम्मद सल्लल्लाहु ला इलाहा इल्लल्लाह अपनी बहन से बोले अमर ये तो बता क्या करती थी अपनी बहन से बोले अमर ये तो बता क्या करती थी मेरे आने से पहले क्या चुपके पढ़ती थी अपनी बहन से बोला ये तो पता क्या करते थे मेरे आने से पहले क्या चुपके पढ़ती थी बहन जब कुरान पढ़ा सुन के कलाम पाक खुदा दिल उमर का बोल उठा ला इलाहा इल्लल्लाह हस्बी रब्बी जल्ला मा फी क़ल्बी ग़ैरुल्लाह नूर मुहम्मद सल्लल्लाहु ला इलाहा इल्लल्लाह
As we're coming to the end of the program for this morning, I want to take the opportunity to say a very special thank you going out to the sponsors. The program this morning is being brought to you through the kind courtesies of the Price Club Supermarket, located at Ramsaran Street out there in Chagonas. Contact number 671-7777. Trinilink Solutions Limited, located at Waterloo Road out there in Aruka. And of course, you can check them out for all of your IT sales, solutions and services. Contact number 7884-186. Point Fortin Hardware Limited Wholesale Division, located at Frederick Settlement in Caroni. Contact number 662-1233-6780-857. Adams Project Management and Construction Limited, located at number 66 Omera Industrial Estate out there in Arima. Contact number 645-8326-663-9144. The Original Barbecue Hut Limited, located at number 85 to 89 Cipero Road, Victoria Village out there in San Fernando. Contact number 657-9429. And Absolute Investments Limited of Monroe Road in Canupia. I want to take the opportunity as well to say a very special salam and greetings of peace going out to you and yours. Thank you so much for the messages that I've been receiving this morning. Jumma Mubarak going out to you and yours. To everyone who messaged on the program, both locally, internationally. May the peace, blessings, and mercies of Almighty Allah be with you. Of course, it was an absolute honor to be in your company over the past hour or so. By all means, do catch me next week, Friday from 5 a.m. as we bring to you another segment of Soul Inspirations, your program for inspiration, information, education, and entertainment. I'm your host and brother in humanity, Imam Safras Ghani, signing out for this morning. Until next week, please do have an extremely blessed day. Stay safe and stay in the mercy of Almighty Allah. Much love, and may the peace, blessings, and mercies of Almighty Allah be with you. Up next is News at 6, followed by Prabhat. By all means, do keep it locked on to 103.1 FM for more inspirational and motivational programming throughout the course of today. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.
ولن ترى عينك في الدنيا مثل سماء وتجري من تحتها أنهار عدن ترى وعطر